This is part 2, episode 239. That person smashed into the mountain, blood coming out from his mouth and nose, unable to crawl up for a long time, his injuries rather serious. The people nearby shivered inwardly, all of them aware that Huang was a cultivation genius, his natural talents exceptional. Not many people in Heavenly Deity Institution could compare to him. However, they didn't expect his temper to be this great, not placing Yuan Qing's emissary in his eyes at all, not going out to welcome him. Your actions will make Yuan Qing's supreme being angry, he will kill you. Even if you are at the top of the younger generation, you still can't stop even a finger from Yuan Qing. The one laying at the foot of the mountain trembled, pointing at Shahao with his finger. He was truly angry and resentful, originally thinking that he would be shown respect, yet was kicked like this, many of his bones broken. His teeth were clenched, expression ashen. Are you trying to sweet-talk Yuan Qing and enter Sacred Academy through this? Shahao looked at him coldly, and then gave him another slap from the distance. With a peng sound, that person flew out gain. As a result, there was no more activity from him, that person fainting, unable to budge an inch. The surrounding people originally came in to join in the action, believing that Yuan Qing's emissary would suppress Shahao, none of them expecting this scene. This youth was truly quite arrogant, not even meeting that so-called emissary and giving the messenger a vicious beating. When Shahao's eyes swept over, many people shivered inwardly, a few of them who harbored bad intentions even more so trembling, their bodies feeling extremely uncomfortable. Huang, Shahao, you really are quite daring. From the distance, a voice sounded, rumbling like thunder, the sound waves engulfing the skies like a tide, leaving everyone shaken up. Everyone shivered inwardly, immediately knowing who that was. That emissary came. Shahao naturally knew that this was Yuan Qing's son. After seeing how he acted just now, he became furious. Only, Shahao felt a similar wave of anger within. What was this place? It was Heavenly Deity Institution, yet Yuan Qing's son dared to act so unbridled, forcing his way over. Who is being so noisy, daring to howl like this in the academy? Are you tired of living? Shahao directly berated. Huang, are you talking to me? You really are too arrogant, are you trying to end your own prospects? That person shouted from the distance, carrying a wave of awe, as if he was berating a lacking disciple, fierce and domineering. Who are you? Heavenly Deity Institution won't tolerate your shameless and atrocious behavior. Shahao shouted, putting on a look as if he was looking down on this world, his attitude extremely tall as he faced the one who had arrived. Impudent! You dare speak like this to me? That person appeared. He was dressed in grey robes, his build thin, figure tall. This was an elder, currently walking over with large steps. At first, he had a bit of aloof temperament, but upon closer inspection, when his eyes opened and closed, radiance shot out in all directions, clearly not a simple individual. Who are you calling impudent? Do you really think you are the lord of this place? Too insolent. At this time, Shahao opposed him with equal harshness, not showing any sign of weakness. He felt a wave of anger. Yuan Qing's emissary went too far, actually coming to Heavenly Deity Institution to berate him. If it was a different place, he would likely just directly kill him. It truly was intolerable. He naturally acted fiercely in response. If the other party dared to behave atrociously here, then he truly wasn't giving Heavenly Deity Institution's powerful figures any face. Truly bold. The grey-clad individual walked over, already not far. His gaze was cold, shattering the immortal Tao aura, his eyes looking quite cold. Ignorant old thing, you are the one who is daring, what are you shouting all arrogantly here for? Are you unwilling or unsatisfied, wishing to challenge the dignity of the elders here? Shahao criticized. Everyone became a bit stupefied. This fella truly was ridiculously bold, actually this fierce when dealing with a sect master level individual, loudly condemning him. You little evil thing, lacking the slightest bit of respect, actually daring to act so rudely after seeing an older generation come. I might just have to teach you a lesson. Yuan Hong berated, his face falling. While speaking, his sleeves moved out, forming a grey expanse. This entire heaven and earth were shrouded. This was a great divine ability, world sleeve. The great sleeve swept out, sucking everything in heaven and earth inside, even more so aiming to refine Shahao, having him suffer. Shahao moved his Kuan Peng wings, instantly leaving his original location, appearing in the depths of the mountain range, his speed fast to the extreme. Younger generation, you showed me disrespect, yet you still wish to leave. Yuan Hong laughed coldly. Who exactly is it who is acting unbridled? There are elders here, how can they tolerate you acting viciously? You still aren't getting lost. Shahao berated. It was because he already arrived on a mountain peak. There was an elder seated on a praying mat here, his appearance ordinary, extremely calm, but right now, he suddenly opened his eyes, looking at Yuan Hong and berating, impudent. The so-called world in sleeve, under this shout, instantly scattered. Yuan Hong's body staggered, the spacious sleeve shattering. Old thing, keep acting fierce, why are you stopping now? Shahao said coldly, provoking him head-on. Senior, it is not that I've acted with impudence, but it is because this little evil is too disrespectful, continuously provoking me, so I had no choice but to take action. Yuan Hong defended himself. When have I ever treated you rudely? It was you who continuously forced me. Where do you think this place is, Yuan Qing's backyard? Daring to come here to interrogate me? Shahao said. On the mountain peak, fifth elder who was seated on the praying mat didn't speak, looking extremely calm, his expression not changing in the slightest. I only wish to ask how my nephew Yuan Feng died in immortal battlefield, but you avoided me, so I have reason to believe that you harmed him. Yuan Hong said. Bring out your proof. Shahao shot him a look of disdain, and then coldly said, your senior Yuan Qing who doesn't want any face previously schemed against me, wishing to suppress me for 10 years, cutting off my Dao path, these are things the entire world knows about, yet you have the face to come here to interrogate me, wanting a so-called explanation, truly laughable. If I were you, I would make myself scarce right now. You really are unbridled, not knowing the difference between life and death. The grey-robed Yuan Hong loudly berated, and then added, you don't want to enter Sacred Academy, Immortal Academy anymore. Are you threatening me? Yuan family truly is bold, even able to speak for Sacred Academy and Immortal Academy. Shahao mocked. I only have one question. Did you kill Yuan Feng? The grey-robed individual asked coldly. None of your fucking business. Shahao only had this line, angering Yuan Feng until his hair and beard all stood on end. Why do you have to act like this? The grey-robed individual shouted angrily. Everyone knew what was going on, but Shahao just felt it beneath him to reply, instead, questioning with a loud voice, Yuan Qing bullied others intolerably, already at his age, yet wants to harm a younger generation youth. I still wanted to ask your Yuan family about this. Why did Yuan Qing vainly try to suppress me for 10 years, later on even try to kill me? Shouldn't your Yuan family give me an explanation? The grey-robed Yuan Hong's face fell. This truly was a disgraceful and disrespectful youth, not having the slightest bit of respect, simply about to anger him to death. Yuan Hong looked towards the elder seated on the mountain, and then said, I must ask Senior to permit me to interrogate him. My Yuan family's disciple died extremely unjustly, so I have to investigate it to its end. What do you wish to do? Heavenly Deity Institution's elder opened his eyes, asking. I wish to search his sea of consciousness, or ask elder to take action so the truth can come to light. Yuan Hong said. Elder, please make your decision. Yuan family's ignorant old thing Yuan Qing has previously harmed me, stopping a disciple from entering the academy. Please capture and arrest him. Shahao also spoke up. Everyone was stunned. This fella really dared to say anything, directly asking to deal with Yuan Qing. You, truly are daring, are you tired of living? Yuan Hong scolded furiously, secretly raising his right palm. Senior, please take action, the Yuan family is arrogant and oppressive, not only wishing to prevent me from joining the academy, even sending a trifling emissary over to try and use violence against me. I ask Senior to help me, let the two of us fight in the same cultivation realm. Shahao said. Fine. Heavenly Deity Institution's fifth elder nodded, actually easily agreeing. Immediately afterwards, Shahao's body felt comfortably warm, as if a wave of warm feeling was infused into his body. Then, his entire body's magical force surged, his cultivation reaching a shocking level. Shahao was shocked, finding this result hard to believe. In that instant, he obtained sect master level cultivation, everything granted by fifth elder. Even though it was temporary, Shahao immediately obtained a brand new experience, ears sharp, eyes keen, his body light and powerful, cultivation profound, divine senses immeasurable. Immediately afterwards, Shahao took action, throwing himself at that grey-robed male. "You dare take action against me?" Yuan Hong said coldly, taking action to face him. "You think you are anything special? Sooner or later, I will remove Yuan Qing's head," Shahao said coldly. "Courting death." The grey-robed individual roared out, his palm and fingers like rainbows, shooting out 10 streaks of divine light. They carried a hazy mist, quickly shooting over. Shahao released the single heavenly passage, impervious to all methods. The 10 streaks of light merged into the heavenly massage, refined into innate spiritual essence. This was the magical force and cultivation of sect master level magical force. Shahao's confidence immediately surged, feeling like this was inconceivable, directly dissolving all of the other party's attacks. In the next instant, Shahao displayed the Kuan-Peng fist, 3 strands of immortal energy revolving around his arm, indistinct and horrifying. A fist smashed over murderously. Following this collision, Yuan Hong released a muffled groan. Even though his magical force was great, cultivation more profound than Shahao's, he was about to be defeated on the spot. Yuan Hong felt as if he was struck by lightning, coughing out several mouthfuls of blood. "Old thing, you aren't enough. The Yuan family's people are trash after all." Shahao released a second fist. It still carried immortal energy, incomparably divine. This time, Yuan Hong coughed out a large mouthful of blood with a WA sound, his entire body flew outwards, smashing into a stone mountain, his complexion incredibly pale. He was an expert with sect master level strength, yet he wasn't a match for a youth with magical force infused into him. This was just too much of a disgrace. Truly disappointing, just this bit of skill, yet you dare behave so atrociously in Heavenly Deity Institution, boasting shamelessly? Who are you trying to discipline in Yuan Qing's place? Even the current you can be an emissary? Seems like Yuan Qing isn't all that either. If I was in the same cultivation realm as him, I'll beat him into dead dog. Shahao ridiculed. Yuan Hong felt like his lungs were going to explode. This youth actually dared to look down on him like this, even more so humiliating his father Yuan Qing. Shahao's third fist smashed over. Yuan Hong did his best to evade, but he was still hit. All of the bones in his body released explosive noises, releasing pilla-pala sounds, many of them immediately shattering. "Senior, are you just going to watch this little evil act viciously?" Yuan Hong shouted. Many people were nearby. When they saw this scene, they were stupefied. Yuan Hong was basically asking for help. This was completely different from his previous domineering entrance, the event quite different from what everyone expected. Even if Yuan Qing came, he wouldn't put on as much airs as you, yet someone like you dares to act so unbridled here. These were Fifth Elder's words, his eyes coldly sweeping towards Yuan Hong. Everyone was stupefied. This was a clear act of bias, sheltering Shahao, not giving the Yuan family the slightest bit of face. What Senior is trying to say is that if even some random snake or cow can even behave atrociously, then this place would be a joke. Just wait for the day when I beat the shit out of Yuan Qing, Shahao said while laughing loudly. The way things developed exceeded everyone's expectations. The Yuan family came with an arrogant attitude, demanding to see Shahao, incredibly overbearing, yet the result now was that he got beaten on the spot. Just how much time had passed? The changes were just too fast, leaving one speechless, a bit stupefied. What kind of place do you take Heavenly Deity Institution for? A place where one can bully the weak as the strong? Making all that noise, if you all aren't taught a proper lesson, are you all going to flatten this place, taking this as a place belonging to Yuan family? Shahao's lips curled. Peng! Shahao's foot kicked out. Yuan Hong released a miserable scream, his body flying out diagonally, smashing into a several 100,000 jin giant boulder, and then fell down, blood continuously flowing out from the corners of his mouth. The change in situation really was too fast. The originally domineering and arrogant Yuan Hong was beaten to this state, unable to resist at all, his bones broken and muscles snapped. Hey, can you stop pretending to be dead? Aren't you here to represent Yuan Qing? Can it be that Yuan Qing really is just this disappointing? Shahao walked up, and then gave him 2 more kicks, beating Yuan Hong until his eyes rolled back, almost fainting. Having no sense of propriety like this, taking action against me, you won't be able to live for long. Yuan Hong said hatefully. He was truly angered badly. His status was extremely high, originating from the Yuan clan, yet in the end, he was beaten so viciously. For a great expert like him, this really left him too sullen. He was so angry his entire body was shaking, almost fainting. Still having such a hard mouth, one? Your Yuan family has done all those hateful things again and again, yet you still have the nerve to act arrogant here. I'm going to beat you into a pig head. Shahao said. He walked up, lifted Yuan Hong by the collar, and then raised his palm, starting to slap his face. The pitter-patter sounds were loud and clear, as if bamboo clapper boards were being used. Yuan Hong was spouting smoke from all 7 orifices, to the extent where even his brain was about to release smoke. He had never suffered this type of humiliation before. Being beaten by a younger generation like this, it was beyond intolerable. He struggled intensely, his eyes releasing flames, truly wishing to immediately kill Shahao. This was polar opposite from his usual immortal Dao appearance. Pa? Shahao definitely wouldn't act too politely, his palm delivering another vicious round of slapping without saying a word, beating him until his head was spinning, unable to tell east from west, his eyes seeing stars, ears ringing. Little bastard, you dare to humiliate me like this? You can forget about entering Sacred Academy in this life, and you can give up on going to Immortal Academy either. You won't ever have the chance to cultivate exceptional methods, just stop here. Yuan Hong was furious, threatening loudly. Who do you think you are? What qualifications do you have to speak in those 2 academies' place? Since you insist on being so hard-mouthed, then enjoy some more slaps. Shahao said, pa sounds following without hesitation. Brat, you can show off and boast all you want here, but when you enter the 2 academies, you'll wish you were dead rather than alive. All of the experts there will suppress you together, you can't beg for life or death. Yuan Hong roared, his eyes filled with bloody wisps. He was truly going crazy from anger, feeling no more reservations, both his arms and legs moving, regardless of whether he had strength at all, only wishing to kill Shahao, completely losing all reason. Shahao didn't waste any words with him, just continuing to hit him. This time, Yuan Hong's face fully distorted, the teeth in his mouth falling out one after another, soon after completely fallen out. A glorious sect master level figure was humiliated like this, it really made him feel worse than being killed. His eyes were bright red, his hair standing on end, entire body taut, completely mad. However, there was nothing he could do. Right now, Shahao also had sect master level strength, and together with the 3 strands of immortal energy winding about his body, suppressing him was extremely easy, pressing him down and beating him up. Everyone was stupefied. What were these 2 doing? One was an important individual from the Yuan clan who had sect master level strength, the other someone who cultivated 3 strands of immortal energy, a supreme being among his peers, both of their statuses astonishing, but right now, it was as if they were in a marketplace streets, fighting roughly. Of course, this was definitely done intentionally by that youth, the purpose precisely to mock Yuan Hong, lifting him up by his collar and beating him up. This left one between laughter and tears. The 2 extraordinary individuals were actually tangled about each other like this, one beating the other's mouth viciously, fists smashing down fiercely, making one feel a bit dizzy from watching. Soon afterwards, Yuan Hong's face swelled greatly, as if it immediately became much bigger, even his eyes hidden under his swollen face. As a sect master, his body was like diamond that had been refined 100 times over. If one didn't call it sturdy and unbreaking, then it was definitely not far off. However, in the end, It was as if hoodlums were fighting in the markets, his wounds shockingly similar. Humiliating. Truly extraordinary shame. Yuan Hong didn't have teeth in his mouth, so his voice was a bit off as he shouted there. Are you really Yuan Qing's son? But your performance really is too lacking, not having any strength, truly losing face for your father. Shahao shook his head, commenting. He already let go of his hand, throwing Yuan Hong to the ground, looking down on him from above. Everyone was stunned. Just now, they had almost forgotten Yuan Hong's identity. That was but Yuan Qing's Supreme Being's own son, his direct line of descent, yet he was beaten up like this. Everything has already been said. Your Yuan family isn't enough, believing yourselves to be infallible, clearly just a half Supreme Being, yet you insist on pretending to be a Supreme Being family. Now, you've all been exposed, right? Truly deserving to be beaten. Shahao ridiculed. Yuan Hong was now exhaling more than he was breathing in, already unable to display any more anger. He laid there, his face fallen, swollen to a ridiculous state, mouth opened as he breathed heavily, truly like a beaten dog. What else do you still want to say? What did you come here for? Shahao sat on a large rock, asking like this. Everyone was speechless, this fella really wasn't some good person. He was previously criticized harshly by Yuan Hong, this person arriving imposingly, but Shahao didn't pay him any attention, and now, he beat the other party into this kind of state, interrogating him instead. Yuan Hong was so angry the roots of his teeth were going to break from his clenched teeth. Right now, he was laying on the ground, hard to even move. All of the bones in his body were broken, so how was he supposed to criticize and interrogate the other party? Shahao's eyes were deep. With a raise of his hand, a streak of sword radiance flickered about between his fingers. He really wanted to cut him down. Throw him out of Heavenly Deity Institution. Fifth Elder suddenly said. Shahao felt some hesitation, but in the end still didn't deliver the killing blow. It was clear that the Academy's elder didn't wish for him to be coddled here, feeling that he was already taken care of enough. No one expected things to get to this extent. In the end, Yuan Hong was dragged behind Shahao in an extremely shameful manner and thrown out from Heavenly Deity Institution. After who knew how much time had passed, only then did Yuan Hong recover a bit of strength. He treated his injured body, teeth clenched, feeling incomparably resentful, angered to the point where his liver was in pain, but there was nothing he could do. Right, Sacred Academy's emissary is about to arrive, I have to meet with him. He stood up and then gave Heavenly Deity Institution a hateful look before turning around and leaving. In the Academy, news spread, triggering a great discussion, producing an uproar. Yuan Qing's third son arrived in Heavenly Deity Institution but was beaten down, and then thrown out of the Academy. Just how strange of a matter was this? This was especially the case since the critical moment where cultivators of the two academies were going to choose heroes was about to arrive, yet Shahao actually directly humiliated Yuan Qing's son in such an undisguised manner. This was a type of challenge. Was he not scared that Yuan Qing would contact the people he was familiar with from the two academies, make things difficult for Shahao? He doesn't really have a choice. There is enmity between him and Yuan Qing that can't be dissolved, so instead of lowering his own stance, he might as well act powerfully. Who knows, perhaps this might still allow him to draw the attention of a few old freaks from the two academies, from this neutralize Yuan Qing's various small schemes. There were people discussing this, feeling shocked towards Shahao's way of doing things. Soon afterwards, everyone who cultivated the present world methods and those who studied the ancient methods came out of seclusion, making all types of preparations, about to head to various ancient lands to cultivate. This was especially the case for those who cultivated ancient methods. They wanted to find their own immortal seeds. This was extremely important for them, affecting all of their future accomplishments. Heavenly Deity Institution scenery was extremely beautiful with many spiritual areas. Right now, Shahao and a group of people had gathered by a dark blue, gemstone-like small lakeside, facing the moonlight while drinking wine. The flood dragons in the lake rose and fell, multicolored light shining brilliantly, providing the lakeside with a misty illumination. There were even more so a few divine fish swimming inside the lake, flickering with bright and multicolored light. We are heading for Realm Tomb soon. I heard that this place is quite strange, with many ruins of collapsed small worlds, traces of the cosmos being destroyed and absorbed into the realm tombs. Even though we can try to picture the peculiarities of that place based on the descriptions, it is still difficult to imagine what it is like exactly. Shahal said. I have heard about the realm tomb before too. The white Chilean young beast said. Realm tomb had existed before Immortal Ancient, that place full of mysteries. It was precisely because all types of unknowns that everyone felt a great desire for exploration. That place was extremely dangerous. The outer region was still okay, but many frightening things had happened in the innermost depths, some exceptional experts disappearing forever after entering in the ancient times. Apart from this, there were some who discovered immortal remains a bit further in. There were just too many powerful individuals who died there. This frightening, what is the point of even going? Someone muttered. Of course, because there is good stuff there. I heard that there are creatures who discovered a perfect cosmos seed there, the most powerful immortal seed. Apart from this, it was rumored that there was even a world tree that was brought out, said the little Chilean. 1. Being reluctant to admit a mistake. This video will end here.